We're called to be holy and upright, of impeccable character. I want to read to you now a story out of the book of 1 Samuel. It's about David and Saul. Saul was the first king over Israel. He was the first king. And he sought to kill David because David was very popular. David, remember, slew Goliath. Everybody loved David. Everybody talked about David. And what made the king jealous? It made Saul jealous. And like a lot of people are, what they tend to be like, King Saul had had enough of it, and he wanted David dead. So that's the backstory. 1 Samuel chapter 24. 1 Samuel chapter 24. Talking about upright character. Talking about righteous behavior. Talking about the fruit of the Spirit called goodness. Being good. Verse 1, and it came to pass when Saul was returned from following the Philistines, that it was told him, saying, behold, David is in the wilderness of En-gedi. Then Saul took 3,000 chosen 3,000. Saul took 3,000 chosen men out of all Israel and went to seek David and his men upon the rocks of the wild goats. And he came to the sheepcotes by the way, where was a cave, and Saul went in to cover his feet. And David and his men remained in the sides of the cave. They were in there, but Saul didn't know it. Saul just went into the same cave where David was. And the men of David said unto him, behold, the day of which the Lord hath said unto thee, behold, I will deliver thine enemy unto thine hand, that thou mayest do to him as it shall seem good unto thee. That day has come, David. Then David arose and cut off the skirt of Saul's robe privately. He snuck over to Saul. They were in the same cave. David snuck over to Saul. He was asleep, I guess. And David cut off a part of his royal robe. And it came to pass afterward that David's heart smote him because he had cut off Saul's skirt. And he said unto his men, the Lord forbid that I should do this thing unto my master, the Lord's anointed, to stretch forth mine hand against him, seeing he is the anointed of the Lord. And so David stayed his servants with these words, and suffered them not to rise against Saul. But Saul rose up out of the cave and went on his way. So here David had the opportunity. This man, this king, wanted to kill him. And all he did was cut part of his skirt off, part of his garment. And he felt bad about it. A person who wanted to kill him, he felt bad about cutting his clothes. And he told his men, don't do anything to him. Don't do anything. He's the Lord's anointed. Whether we like him or not, whether he likes us or not, he's the Lord's anointed. He's the king. Don't touch him. Now talk about uprightness of character, right? Yes. Most of us would say, hey, the Lord has delivered him into my hand. He said he would. He delivered him into my hand, he said, so that I could do whatever seemed good to me to do to him. Those were the words of the prophet. Amen. So he's delivered him into my hand. I'm going to kill him. A lot of people, most people probably, would do that. But not David. Think about that. That's a big deal. That shows goodness. That shows good character. That shows uprightness. That shows righteousness. Verse 8, David also arose afterward and went out of the cave and cried after Saul. Saul had gone a little ways, and David comes out of the cave too. He starts hollering, "My lord the king!" Saul turned around. He looked behind him. David stooped with his face to the earth. He bowed himself. He bowed down right there. And David said to Saul, "Wherefore hearest thou men's words, saying, Behold, David seeketh thy hurt? Behold, this day thine eyes have seen how that the Lord had delivered thee into mine hand in the cave. And some bade me kill thee, but mine eyes spared thee. And I said, I will not put forth my hand against my Lord, for he is the Lord's anointed." Amen. Wow. "Moreover, my father," he called Saul his father. Now, it wasn't his father. It was a show of respect. Sometimes to show respect and affection, an older man will call a younger man son. "Come here, son." It's not his son, but he's just showing, it's an affection. It's a sign of affection. Verse 11, "Moreover, my father, see the skirt of thy robe in my hand." I'm holding part of your clothes. For in that I cut off the skirt of thy robe and killed thee not, know thou and see that there is neither evil nor transgression in my hand. I have not sinned against thee, yet thou huntest my soul to take it. The Lord judge between me and thee, and the Lord avenge me of thee. But my hand shall not be upon thee. After whom is the king of Israel come out? After whom dost thou pursue? After a dead dog, after a flea. He said, why? He's basically saying, why are you wanting to kill me? I just spared your life. Why are you wanting to kill me? The Lord therefore be judge, and judge between me and thee, and see, and plead my cause, and deliver me out of thine hand. I do not know how long the silence was. It doesn't say. But it does say, and it came to pass, when David had made an end of speaking these words unto Saul, that Saul said, Is this thy voice, my son David? And Saul lifted up his voice, and he wept. He hollered and he wept. And he said to David, Thou art more righteous than I, for thou hast rewarded me good, whereas I have rewarded thee evil. Amen. And thou hast showed this day how that thou hast dealt well with me. For as much as when the Lord had delivered me into thine hand, thou killedst me not. For if a man find his enemy, will he let him go well away? Wherefore the Lord reward thee good, for that thou hast done unto me this day. He says, he's holding a part of my garment. He's holding it. He could have killed me, but he didn't. I've been trying to kill him for the longest time. I hate him. I'm so jealous of him. You're more righteous than me, David. Verse 20. Now behold, I know well that thou shalt surely be king. Thou shalt surely be king, and that the kingdom of Israel shall be established in thine hand. Amen. He knew he was on his way out. God just let him know. He just had that feeling, I'm on my way out. This man, this young man, is so much more righteous than I. He's really the one that should be leading God's people. Amen. Amen. Verse 21, swear now therefore unto me by the Lord that thou wilt not cut off my seed after me, and that thou wilt not destroy my name out of my father's house. He says, David, I know you're going to be king. I don't deserve to be king, but please don't kill my children and grandchildren. David swore unto Saul. And Saul went home. He said, okay, I'm not going to kill. David was a man after God's own heart. People like to point out David's frailties and his indiscretions. But David was a man after God's own heart. He loved God. He was always singing about him. He loved him. He thought about him every day, every night. He thought about God. He loved him. And he would be king. Saul would be taken out. David would be put in. He swore unto Saul, nope, I won't kill him. And Saul went home, but David and his men got them up unto the hold. We should all be like that, shouldn't we? I tell you what, my heart is pricked this morning. I don't know if yours is. Amen.